In today's video, we're talking about which type of marketing delivers the highest ROI. I've built a multi-7-figure business, so I'm always looking at how can I expand my margins, make more profit, and grow my business. So I'm going to share with you some of the findings that I've come across while building my business. Let's first start out by defining the term ROI because I have some ideas about what ROI really means that might not be how you were introduced to this topic. Then we'll dive into the different types of online marketing available to you and which ones I would rank as highest ROI to lowest ROI. Then I'm going to share with you how these different types of online marketing strategies can impact your business the most. Let's first look at the term ROI. It means return on investment. Now, there are some marketing efforts that are free, and then there are some marketing efforts that are fast. So when we talk about different online marketing strategies that can give you the most return on your investment, there might be some investments that are free. There can be strategies like making a YouTube video. That can be free financially, but you're investing more time. So if I'm making these videos that I'm just investing my time more than my money, someone like you finds the videos, enjoys it, gets value from it, and then reaches out to me and becomes a client, that's like 100% financial investment, but I've invested the time to get there. Now, as you're growing and scaling your business, you might want to invest more financially by growing your team, by outsourcing, by hiring video editors, so many different things. And that's where you're going to want to still keep a finger on the pulse of what you're investing, both financially and time and energy-wise. Before I go into the different types of online marketing strategies I would recommend, look at where you're spending your time right now, and then also categorize them by where am I spending the most financial investment? Where am I getting the most return from? What I like to do is actually make a list of all the activities I do in my business and rank them in terms of which one is giving me the most return, what is the most revenue generating in my business. Now I'm about to get into the different types of online marketing strategies you can try, but before I do, make sure you hit that red button and subscribe to this channel. The different types of marketing, the first one on my list is SEO, search engine optimization. Now this is one that might be a lower financial investment, but a bigger time investment. So you can be writing blogs, you could be making videos on YouTube, and of course if you are outsourcing this, if you're hiring a copywriter, if you're hiring a video editor, that's where you might be spending more money. But if you're doing this on your own, if you're a startup, if you're just getting started, you can also minimize those costs by doing that yourself. So writing blogs for your website and then optimizing those with great titles, search engine optimized keywords. Same thing with YouTube, titling your videos based on how people are searching for them. The most time intensive is going to be you writing, scripting, filming, editing, and then promoting. The next marketing strategy is your email marketing. If you have an email list, you can be nurturing that list by continuing to send them email nurturing sequences. You can send them weekly newsletters, and in those emails, you can be sending them towards maybe a paid course or program or product or service that you have. The writing and the sending of the email can be pretty minimal cost, especially if you're doing it yourself. Your expense might be what you're paying that email marketing provider to be able to send it and automate those. And depending on the strength of your copywriting, how engaging those calls to actions are, that could result in a really great ROI. The next one is social media. And I'm going to break this into two categories here. There's organic and there's paid. Let's first start with organic. Your organic content on social media is where you're creating content that is reaching your audience and you're not putting any money into it, but you're building a relationship with your audience. Maybe you're documenting your day-to-day life. Maybe you're sharing a strategy that works for you. And then in some of those posts, you can have a link or a call to action to tell them what's the next step that they can take, such as buying a course or signing up for something or buying a product from you. And again, if you're doing this yourself, the most time that you're going to invest in this is, of course, creating the written part of the post, the creative, the images. But if you're paying for a social media manager, there's a range of expertise that you can pay for here. There's also different apps or software that you might want to invest in, things like Canva for graphic design, things like social media schedulers that might have a subscription fee to be able to use. And now let's talk about the paid side of things, because all of these ideas that I've listed so far, even SEO, email marketing, social media, you can advance those and reach more people, gain more exposure by putting some ad spend into it. And this is where you're going to really want to keep an eye on your numbers to make sure that you are getting a good return on that investment. You can be investing in Facebook ads, Instagram ads, YouTube ads, Pinterest ads, LinkedIn ads. Pretty much any platform will have a paid advertising strategy to it. And this isn't necessarily just boosting posts. There's also different kind of advanced strategies where you can be having lead generation campaigns or registration campaigns if you're sending them directly to a sales page or directly to a webinar. Now, it's really important for you to know your numbers here, because whatever you're paying, you want to know your cost per lead, meaning how much you paid to be able to acquire that lead, how they've come into your ecosystem, how they've maybe joined your email list. What did it cost for you to bring them onto that list? Then you also want to keep an eye on your cost per acquisition, because just because they're on your email list doesn't mean that you've made an ROI from that. They could be on your list but never buy anything, and you've paid for that lead. But if you have the nurturing sequences in place where maybe they sign up for your email list, they go through an email sequence, or they're retargeted with other ads and then purchase something, that's called your cost per acquisition. What you paid to acquire that lead and then acquire them as a customer. And from there, you'll know what's your ROI. What did you spend to get them? And then what did they pay to become a customer? So from all the ideas I've given you, which ones are you using? Which ones do you want to try? Let me know in the comments below. So just remember that your investment can be time or money. And if you're willing to invest money, you're probably going to be able to reach more people and be able to scale your business. I remember when I first started my business, I was doing everything myself. And sure, that meant that I was able to keep all of the profits, but my time was limited. So by being able to outsource, or by being able to invest in Facebook ads or YouTube ads or Google ads, I was able to expand my reach, gain more clientele, more customers, and be able to also build a team to do it with me, which is a really exciting thing to do. If you want to learn more about creating content that converts, I've created an entire training teaching my content cash flow system. It's a free training called How to Create 6 Months of Cash Flowing Content in 3 Days Without Publishing Your Face Off for months with no return. Remember, ROI is really important to us. So click that link below and you can get free access today.